Hey guys, Taylor has just released another one of his terrific videos, and this is a riff on his ideas. I can't resist taking a good idea and pushing it a little further. I tell you, I have the greatest respect for that Teufelberger design team all around the Teufelberger organization. What they're putting out is fabulous product, and they're pioneers, and they're just doing a fabulous job. I haven't got the brains or the experience to hold a candle to that, but I do know the U-Saver really well, and when Taylor shows me the way, it's a short jump for me to say, hey, I can do that with a U-Saver. And what you're going to see now is a preposterous claim that one pulley saver, one U-Saver and one extra arborist ring can take the place of a pulley saver, a multi-saver, a multi-anchor, a ring loop 26, a ring loop 32, and a retrieval ball. So it's a preposterous claim, but I'm going to take you through it quickly. The way it all started, of course, was the desire to climb on a Pinto. This is the pulley saver, and it is a fabulous product. I think I had the first one in the country, and I love it. It can be set up in choking configurations or hanging configurations, but it had a limitation, and that is it couldn't be set remotely. In order to set it set the tie-in point remotely, you need the multi-saver, and the U-Saver can deliver that function, and you can set it remotely and retrieve it remotely, and that's all old news out of other videos. Regardless of whether it's rings or pulley, regardless of whether it's choking or hanging, it was always one tie-in point. And now we're going to use the U-Saver to set up multiple tie-in points, two tie-in points in two different configurations, a redundant configuration and an equalizing configuration. The redundant configuration we're going to do first because it's almost child's play with the U-Saver. You throw the other end of the U-Saver over your second tie-in point, and then bring your climbing line through the terminal ring of the U-Saver, the two arborist rings, the pulley, and the large ring. And you now have two independent tie-in points, and you can adjust for length as the situation warrants. And as you can see here, I've always tended to build my U-Savers a little on the short side. I like them that way, but for this multi-tie-in point, I need to build a long one and have some rope available to reach the two tie-in points. But in any case, here are your two independent redundant tie-in points, and this can support one line and one climber through two tie-in points, or it can support one climber and two lines through independent tie-in points, or it can support two climbers and two lines. The retrieval technique is, as in Taylor's video, the only thing I have to caution you, gets a little funky in this configuration. The widget snap doesn't quite have enough room to breathe here and lay fair. It'll work, but it's annoying. And what I suggest you do is just grab a piece of cordage or a dynamo loop and give the widget snap a little leash, little room to breathe, hook it up to your climbing line, and now this whole thing comes back out of the tree. those were the redundant tie-in points. Now I'm going to do the equalizing rig. To do that, I'm taking the pinto pulley off, and I'm going to throw the terminal ring and the prusik over one tie-in point. I'm going to pass the large ring through the legs of the pinto's prusik, push the cordage aside, put the large ring over the second tie-in point, take the extra arborist ring that I was telling you about, girth hitch it onto the pinto, and now put the climbing line through, not the terminal ring, but through the two small arborist rings, the extra ring, and the large ring, and attach the Witchard snap again. You can do that either with or without the leash now. It works fine either way. So there's the configuration. And now what you have here is not only an equalizing rig, but a pulley-assisted equalizing rig. It's pretty slick. And you would be amazed. Look at how small this branch is. You would be amazed at what you can get away with if you use this equalizing rig intelligently. The Retrieval, of course, is exactly the same. Oh, I should mention one thing before I leave this. Teufelberger cautions you on these equalizing rigs not to let this angle get bigger than 120 degrees because of the extra forces you'll be loading onto the tie-in points. That's not the case here. What you need to do is pull these two ropes together like this and check this angle. That if that angle is less than 120 degrees, you're probably going to be fine. And now this tether lets the pinto go up higher. It lets these angles and wraps be fairer. It lets the whole thing work better. But the force vectors are exactly the same. This force vector comes to this point approximately. This force vector comes to this point. And it's basically the same as before. So you needn't be concerned if this angle starts to look big on you. What you want to pay attention to is this angle right here. So that's your pinto-assisted equalizing rig, and that retrieves with the Witchard snap as well, and it'll follow you out of the tree. Thanks for watching.